It's the Jayhawks of Kansas against the Arkansas Razorbacks. On Thursday, Arkansas eliminated Alabama, while Kansas defeated second seed Indiana. And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm Greg Gumbel. It's all very simple from here. The winner goes to the Final Four in Indianapolis. It'll be Arkansas against Kansas, two teams that know all about winning. The Razorbacks, a Final Four team last year, 64-8 is their record over the last two seasons. As for Kansas, the Jayhawks are making their 7th NCAA tournament appearance in the last 8 years, and they come off of a season in which they were co-champions of the Big 8 Conference. Alongside me this afternoon is Quinn Buckner. Quinn, let's first start with an Arkansas team that likes to throw a defense out called 40 minutes of hell. They forced 26 turnovers against Alabama here Thursday night.
Well, Greg, they like to come at you, and they come at you consistently, mostly on a full-court basis. They just keep all the pressure on you they can, and when you're playing against a team like that, you've got to understand, they come from the backside. The ball can get pushed up court. They'll come and trap you, and then the most obvious man, they'll try to cut off. They'll protect the inside as well. And their teammates know each other so well that they cover a lot of territory. You'll see the ball will come back, and the next thing you know, one of the Razorbacks are on it. And if it's Todd Day in this particular situation, he knows there's a chance for an easy one, so he'll get going on the other end. And what you have is the end of the Razorback attack.
Now, as for Kansas, this is a team that doesn't have big names. In fact, it's very much a no-name team. But the discipline they exercise on court is very well known.
Well, I think that's something that is really critical for them, Greg, because what you have to do against a team like Arkansas is protect the basketball. You can't afford to turn it over. Ball handling, turnovers, and second chance points will be critical for Kansas today.
There's only one injury concern between these two teams, and that concerns Oliver Miller, the starting center for the University of Arkansas. And for that, let's check in with the third member of our crew here this afternoon, Jim Gray. Jim?
Okay, thank you very much, Greg. Just had an opportunity to speak to Oliver Miller, and he told me that he's feeling much better today than he did Thursday night. He said that his pulled groin has responded very well to the treatment and that he should be operating at about 85%. This, for Kansas coach Roy Williams, is the biggest game in his coaching career. He spent 10 years as an assistant to Dean Smith. Since that time, he has not played Dean Smith. And while he told me that he is not looking past today's game against Arkansas, if he should win today with Kansas, and North Carolina should beat Temple tomorrow, then that would set up a Final Four game in which Williams would face his mentor, Dean Smith. He said there are a lot of ifs in that equation right there, but it's awful nice to think about. Greg?
All right, Jim, the clock continues to count down towards tip-off. We'll return to the Charlotte Coliseum in just a moment.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship Regional Final game from Charlotte, North Carolina is sponsored by the greatest sports performance shoe in the world, the Reebok Pump, Pump Up and Air Out. ITT Corporation, building people's dreams. And by Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light, it doesn't get any better than this.
Tie game. Back after this. Twist off 7-Up caps and win in the incredible 7-Up college basketball game. Hurry up and grab all the 7-Up caps you can, because if you match the winner score in the final game, you'll win a t-shirt or basketball shoes from Foot Locker or $10,000. Instant winners, too. So collect your caps and win. 7-Up employees not eligible.
Back for second half action at a real barn burner. Stadium House to start the second stanza. Dribble drive across the timeline.
Oldsmobile, official car for NCAA championships, calls this timeout to tell you about the other game in town. The Oldsmobile Drive to the Final Four Cellathon. At your Olds dealer, you can get a great deal on every new 1991 Oldsmobile. In addition to the terrific values, you'll also have a shot at winning hundreds of prizes like a new Cutlass Supreme or a large screen TV. Hey, with deals like this, you can't miss.
You finally reach that great hidden beach. It doesn't get any better. The heat of the day, ooh, the cool of the spray. It doesn't get any better than this. There's only one law, let the good time pour. You couldn't care less, who could ask for more? It doesn't get any better.
Old Milwaukee Light.
It doesn't
you feel safe and secure.
We built this business to build your future.
ITT built these businesses into leaders. We built them by taking care of people.
We built this business. We built this business to build your
The players are being introduced to the fans here in the Charlotte Coliseum. We will take one final timeout, and when we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and the opening tip for you as we approach the Southeast Regional Finals.
If your face were square, shaving would be simple. If your face were flat,
Arkansas against Kansas for the right to move on to Indianapolis as a member of the Final Four here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And here are the starting lineups for Kansas. Alonzo Jameson and Mike Maddox up front, along with Mark Randall in the middle, Terry Brown and Adonis Jordan in the backcourt. For Arkansas, Todd Day, Southwest Conference Player of the Year, and Isaiah Morris are the forwards. Oliver Miller in the middle, Lee Mayberry and Arlen Bowers are in the backcourt. The officials for this afternoon's game: Mickey Crowley from New York City, Sam Croft from Roanoke, Virginia, and Pete Pavia from Rochester, New York. And the opening tap goes to Arkansas, and Todd Day puts up a three-pointer that's off the mark. Isaiah Morris rebounds, fouled, and the basket counts.
And that's the exact thing you cannot let happen if you're Kansas. You're going to struggle getting points of your own. You can't allow Arkansas to get second-chance baskets like that.
Kansas arrives here this afternoon with victories over the University of New Orleans, the Pitt Panthers, and then second-seeded Indiana by a huge margin on Thursday night. Isaiah Morris makes it a three-point play, and Arkansas is up by 3.
And here's where you got to make Arkansas pay.
Jamison almost lost it and recovered. This is Mark Randall to Maddox, and 30 is Adonis Jordan inside. Whistle blows. The basket counts. Mark Randall, shooting 64% from the field, will go to the line and try to tie it.
I like Mark's comment about that. He said if you shoot layups, you ought to have that percentage. I think that's pretty accurate, actually. But I think that play is indicative of the kinds of things that you need to see from Kansas. Like a back pick on Oliver Miller, and once the ball was on the other side, you just saw Randall get it done.
Oliver Miller with the quick outlet. Todd Day underneath to Mayberry, who forced the shot up, and back comes Kansas. Jamison for Randall, who travels. The Razorbacks, off of the Southwest Conference regular season and tournament championship, beat Georgia State, Arizona State, and then ran roughshod over the Crimson Tide of Alabama Thursday night. Jamison going for the steal, knocks it out of bounds. It will be critical for Kansas to protect the basketball this afternoon.
Well, it will be. Kansas in the last game against Indiana only had 9 turnovers. They're averaging about 13 turnovers in the last 5 games, so they're doing a good job taking care of the basketball. They must do it this afternoon.
Arlen Bowers powers inside. The follow is good by Isaiah Morris.
When you don't have the height, you've got to block out.
Isaiah Morris has all 5 Arkansas points. Ball batted out of bounds, and it belongs to Kansas.
As you can see, Arkansas will play some half-court defense. Roy Williams said this game will come down to playing yourself through the fatigue that can be caused by the press of the Razorbacks.
Maddox guarded tightly by Isaiah Morris. Randall had a man inside, and Terry Brown will shoot the 3. Randall after the loose ball, but Arkansas has it, lost it now, out of bounds, and Arkansas ball.
But you got to admire the effort, and I'll tell you what, if Maddox doesn't get that ball, there were 3 Jayhawks on the offensive end of the court. That's an easy basket going the other way.
5-2 Arkansas. Minute and a half into the game here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Allowed for Miller. Good defense by Randall.
have to worry about Oliver Miller because you know he's already got a strained hip. You see right there, he gets bumped a little bit, goes down hard. I think a little bit of acting trying to get the foul call.
Arlen Bowers called with a foul. That's a lot of weight coming into your living room, isn't it?
Yeah, nobody wants all that coming at you.
You look at Nolan Richardson.
Well, not enough can be said about the job he's done at Arkansas. 3 years there, the last 3 years, Southwest Coach of the Year. The 1-1-3. This is the defense that Arkansas will employ to keep pressure on the jump shooter.
Nice pass inside from Maddox, who missed the shot.
Transition. Gotta have it.
3-on-2 from the far side, Morris. And he gets the bounce. And Isaiah Morris leads Kansas all by himself, 7-2.
Well, he's kind of an unsung hero in that regard. They thought they'd get more out of him early, Greg, but he started to play it here with a good start.
Randall traveled. Nope, double dribble. Ran into someone very big inside called Oliver Miller.
Well, Greg, right now, as we look at the pace, you've got to consider that this is what Arkansas wants to do. They want to get the ball up and down the court.
34 is Richard Scott, a 6'7" freshman from Little Rock, into the game.
You know, when I talked to Roy Williams, one of the things he said he was going to do was try to put pressure on Arkansas on the defensive end.
There's a whistle inside, and the foul is on Scott.
And the reason I bring that up is if you go out and you're trying to put pressure on the defensive end and have to work as hard as you do on the offensive end, that's more of an opportunity to tire your players out. But that's what Kansas has always done, and he doesn't want to back off of that.
Isaiah Morris making his presence felt. Todd Day
with a rainbow for three. Penetration by Bowers makes that all day.
10-2 Razorbacks off to the lead. Morris with the steal. And the loose ball picked off now by Kansas. 4-5-on-1. Jamison with the basket.
Got to get back.
Here's Miller by himself on the baseline and now joined by a crowd. His pass gets away. Jordan for three. And the rebound to Morris. Miller lost it. And Arkansas, though, with the lead, turning the ball over early.
Arkansas will turn the ball over, Greg. They play at that pace, and Nolan Richardson and the Razorbacks expect to do that.
And that whistle is on Isaiah Morris. We talk about Isaiah Morris scoring the first 7 points. He comes in with a scoring average of 7.4 a game.
Greg, he really struggled when he got Arkansas. They put in a lot of new things on the with their defense. They got right away in the preseason NIT, so Morris wasn't able to pick up things as quickly as he'd like. He's obviously doing much better with that.
On the horizon, Seton Hall, UNLV out west, following this game. In the paint, rejected by Miller. Scott right back at it with a couple of fakes, and the tap up no good. Morris with the rebound.
Oliver Miller.
Day traveled. We'll take timeout with 15:53 to play here in Charlotte. Arkansas with the lead by 6.
Attention! Company! Dismiss!
The people of Delta would like to recognize the sacrifice made by our armed forces and their families.
We do have a special military fair.
Now, with our Welcome Home fairs, active military personnel and their eligible family dependents can travel the USA for 70% less.
Albuquerque, New Mexico? Is that your hometown?
That's right, ma'am. I'm going home.
Delta, we love to fly, and it shows.
A change is coming, it's understood. Happening all over my neighborhood. Now that you deliver, gonna do it I should. Gonna make a change good.
During the Final Four, call on Pizza Hut for the new MVP pizza, loaded with pepperoni, mushrooms, Italian sausage, and green peppers. Get one for $7.99 and a second for just $4 more.
Now that you deliver, gonna change good. Pizza Hut delivery, making it great.
My dad knows all about space vehicles. Like the new Oldsmobile Silhouette. Its looks are stellar.
And the interior is perfect for the enterprising family.
The modular seats pull out easily. There's a place for everything.
Compared to other forms of space travel, Silhouette is the logical choice. Right, Dad?
Eminently logical.
This is the new
Silhouette. Travel in space and style.
Great values, big prizes during Oldsmobile's drive to the Final Four Cellathon. You can't miss.
When you're supposed to be dead, you can do anything. The Exile premieres Tuesday, April 2nd on CBS Late Night. It's too hot to sleep.
Oliver Miller is the anchor of the 40 minutes of hell. You see the block shot right here, and then getting the ball back and coming back to try to get it again. 1, 2, 3, go underneath, still not able to get it up. All of that is because of Oliver Miller and his ability to block shots. That's how they anchored that 40 minutes of hell.
And what an anchor, 6'9", 286 pounds. Kansas with a couple of misses down low, now 2 out of 8 from the field. From the top of the key, Steve Woodbury just into the game, hits a two-pointer.
You got a young freshman coming in off the bench. Kansas is going to have to get some bench play because you know that Arkansas will go to their bench, and Nolan Richardson feels that he has more bench players than anybody in the country.
Starting 5 still in the lineup for Arkansas. Todd Day for 3. His second three-pointer of the afternoon. 13-6 Razorbacks. Todd Day hit for 31 and added 7 rebounds in the win over Alabama Thursday night. Sean Tunstall, number 22, in the game as well for Kansas. Randall down low. Scott shot in and out.
Over Miller. Tough to do. Barely can see the basket.
Mayberry into the lane. Lee Mayberry on the board. His first basket. Day with the takeaway. Fouled by Randall.
The guy has got such long arms, this Todd Day. He's deceptive. He plays with them down low. Todd Day can anticipate. He understands how to play the game. Now what he will do is he'll keep his hands down, and all of a sudden the ball goes up, and you can see he puts those long arms up there. Randall coming back to try to make the block. Gets called for the foul. Great anticipation.
Here's Todd Day, the 6'8 junior out of Memphis. Questioned after the Alabama game as to whether he'd be back for his senior year. He's very positive about that.
Now here, Greg, we've got 14:24 to go. There's been this major substitution on the part of Arkansas. They put in Fury and Murray. These are the two guys that really key them defensively. Murray, the walk-on, does a great job for him.
Out of bounds to Arkansas. Ron Fury is the one on his man.
This is their most athletic team with Oliver Miller in the back.
Kansas already turned the ball over 5 times today, turned it over just 9 times in the win over Indiana Thursday. Arkansas with Mayberry and Murray in the backcourt, Curie, Todd Day, and Oliver Miller. Off the mark, picked off by Jordan. Jamison loses the ball out of bounds, and they say it was knocked out by Arkansas. Nolan Richardson expressing his doubts about the call.
Nolan is pulling for his kids. There's just no two ways about it.
Richard Scott goes to the bench, and so does Mark Randall. Into the game for Kansas, number 31, Kirk Wagner, and Mike Maddox back into the lineup.
Trying to get some ball handlers in, keep fresh people in. Roy Williams' substitution is very good.
Jamison, partially blocked, and Maddox will get it back outside. Woodbury.
That's the one you've got to stick, because you can get it kicked back out to you. You got to make it, though.
Jamison, nice move on the baseline. 17-8, Arkansas.
I think you can get Miller inside on Maddox. Maddox plays good position defense, but Miller's just much too big for him.
Todd Day across the lane tried to dish it off, and the blocking foul goes against the Jayhawks. That's Mike Maddox's first foul. Mike Maddox, 6'7" senior out of Oklahoma City, playing with 2 degenerated discs in his back. They keep a heating pad on the bench for him for when he needs it, and he really can't go full speed in practice.
What you've got to wonder is that's going to become a factor here playing against somebody as big as Oliver Miller and all the banging that'll go on in this contest.
Mayberry for 3, he doesn't get it. Miller is out of the game right now, and Roosevelt Wallace is in the lineup for Arkansas.
Decision making right here.
Jamison powers it up.
Oh, strong move.
Alonzo Jamison has 6. And Arkansas's lead is 7. And we have 12:50 to play. And the steal by Jordan, tried the save, and it's out of bounds to Arkansas. More substitutions by Roy Williams. Sean Tunstall and starting guard Terry Brown back in.
Roy Williams got good production off of his bench in the game against Indiana. He got 25 points. He only got 2 turnovers off of that crew, so he's got a lot of confidence in going to his bench.
Wallace. And Tunstall comes down with it and breaks out. 3 on 2. Good pass. And Wagner lost it.
Boy, that's an opportunity you can't afford to miss. Tunstall made the play. Wagner not prepared to catch it.
Kansas ball. And Arlen Bauer is back in, and Lee Mayberry will have a rest. Arlen Bauer is known for his defensive skills, which should serve him well on the Arkansas football team in the fall. He'll play defensive back.
Good hands, very active, strong body. They call him Truck, so he's not afraid to take a hit, obviously.
You hit him a couple of days ago, and
he didn't budge. He did not budge.
There's a takeaway by Murray, and it bounces off of his foot and out of bounds.
Yeah, I think this kid is a great story. Here's a kid that is a walk-on. I mean, he was a walk-on, and I asked Nolan about him. I said, how is he on the team? He said, when he was out practicing, and I started looking at him and said, this kid's got a chance to make it. He is one of the top subs on the Arkansas team. I mean, that's amazing.
Ernie Murray averages just over 5.5 points a game for the Razorbacks.
This is tenacity that's really what Arkansas likes.
Shot clock to 2. Jamison gets the shot away and hit it. Jamison has 8, and Kansas has cut the Arkansas lead to 5. Curie with his own rebound and missed the putback, and it's all Arkansas under the board.
Second chance points. You miss possessions by giving up second chance points, and obviously you lose the fact that you let the other team score.
Maddox looks inside. Good look inside for Kirk Wagner.
But Greg, if you watch the tempo of the offense of Kansas, you should be quick but not hurry. And all of a sudden, Kansas is starting to hurry with their offense.
Loose ball picked off by Kansas. And Oliver Miller set to check back in.
Now it's been slowed down. This is much better tempo offensively for Kansas.
Jamison for Wagner, got slapped as he went up, and he'll go to the line for 2.
The results of being quick and not hurrying is that you can get yourself open, and once you get yourself open, you can find people. Right here, Jamison can get the ball there, and then Wagner just goes to the other side of the basket. That's what you do when you're quick, but you don't hurry. You can still see where the openings are.
That foul is on Arlen Bowers, and that's number 2. And Todd Day back in as both coaches make numerous substitutions. And let's set them for you now. Mayberry and Murray in the backcourt for Arkansas with Oliver Miller, Todd Day, and Roosevelt Wallace up front. For Kansas, it's Mark Randall, Terry Brown, Adonis Jordan, Kirk Wagner, and number 12, 6'8" freshman Patrick Ritchie.
You don't have necessarily a strong team on the part of Kansas, but again, you've got a good ball handling team in there. Even though Ritchie is 6'8", he likes to play on the perimeter.
Timeout with 10:35 to play here in the first half. It's Arkansas by 3.
I didn't want to be the first, but when I heard how many other guys had already tried Rogaine, I did too. Now I have only one regret. I just wish I'd tried Rogaine sooner.
For more information about Rogaine with minoxidil, see your doctor or call this number.
If you're wondering whether Rogaine is for you, call this number, and we'll give you an incentive to find out. A certificate worth $10 toward a consultation visit with your doctor. Call 1-800.
Arkansas leads Kansas 19-16 with 10.5 minutes to play here in the first half.
Arkansas been able to get some second chance points, able to put low pressure on Kansas. Kansas has now come out in a 1-3-1 zone. A little bit of, this is the way you can preserve some of the energy of your team.
Todd Day just nailed another 3.
But Greg, you got to go know where the shooters are. Todd Day has been making them with great regularity. You've got to get out and guard him.
Day has 11. And Arkansas's lead is 22-16.
Arkansas is in a 1-3-1 with Oliver Miller on the wings. Long arms, keeps the outlet pass out.
33 Clyde Fletcher making his first appearance for Arkansas. Good pass inside. Wagner had it, batted it away, and snaps it back outside again to Adonis Jordan.
And Jordan does the wise thing. Bring it back out, set your offense up again.
Shot clock at 10. Jordan for 3. In the lane. And Brown had it blocked from behind. Todd Day again. This one's short. Mayberry goes after it and saves it. Batted out of bounds, and it goes to Arkansas. And Oliver Miller hits the deck. Someone checked the deck.
Well, right, the ball gets tapped out, and you can just see the momentum of Mark Randall ran into Oliver Miller. Now, how he knocked him down, I do not know, but I checked the deck. It's all right. Miller is up. He's all right.
9:20 to play, first half. There's a steal by Terry Brown. With Murray on him, he scored. 22-18. As Terry Brown, the leading scorer for Kansas, gets his first points of the day. There's Murray. And Maddox with the rebound, out of bounds to Kansas. Some of the significant numbers of this game so far today. Field goal percentages aren't too far apart, but we talked about the second chance points, Quinn.
Well, the second chance points is something that I expect to see go up, because if Kansas can't stay up because of personnel and they get tired, you'll see Arkansas get to the glass more often on their offensive end. So you got to block out if you can.
Double team on Randall in the corner.
Can't get the balls in the corner because that's where Arkansas wants you. They'll use the baseline and sideline as an extra defender.
Randall goes hard for the basket and counted for 2. Mark Randall with 4 points.
Well, first of all, Fury's standing under the basket. Almost any time you're standing under the basket, you can't block it. But more importantly, you're playing a zone, Arkansas. How do you let a man drive from the foul line, top of the key, to the basket? Somebody must step in.
The Jayhawks have crept to within 2. The shot inside. Fletcher missed everything. Here come the Jayhawks. Jordan to Maddox. And we are tied. 8 minutes to play, first half. Miller inside.
That's all day long. If Arkansas can stay patient, they can get that.
Jamison, good couldn't hit the short pop.
Because Oliver Miller was coming.
Fury on the baseline and an offensive foul. And we'll take time with 7:31 to play. First half, Arkansas by a basket.
A tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS.
The Penobscot River and Old Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. The Penobscot means hard, charging white water. And Old Milwaukee means a great beer. Cold, crisp Old Milwaukee beer and smooth, golden Old Milwaukee Light.
There's nothing like the flavor of a special place. An Old Milwaukee beer.
Through the trough, we hit the top of the wave.
Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light.
It just doesn't get any better than this.
You got that right.
If your car pulls to one side, let Midas check your alignment. At Midas, trained professionals with the latest technology align your car right. You see, we're serious about safety. Hey, nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
In redefining the laser printer, IBM made it 33% smaller, with 50% fewer parts than the old standard. Could that be the reason it's also 25% faster? IBM laser printers. Suddenly, nothing else measures up.
It has all come so far. Today, our engineers can crash test cars on a computer. If only they could have seen us 40 years ago. We had no idea we were inventing safety science. Most people today know nothing of all this safety pioneering, but I think Mercedes drivers, they know. I think they can feel it.
Welcome back, everyone. With about 7.5 to play here in the first half, it's Arkansas by 2 over Kansas, 24-22. And we want to remind you, more action coming your way tomorrow. The road to the Final Four, and then regional finals in the East. Temple and North Carolina. The winner of that game will play the winner here at Indianapolis. And in the Midwest, St. John's against Duke. Later today, Seton Hall against UNLV out in Seattle for the West Regional title. Randall on the drive down the lane. Nice move by Mark Randall.
Well, Randall has made himself available outside, and he can go around Oliver Miller, particularly when Miller is standing straight up.
Tie game at 24. Coming from behind, Alonzo Jamison also got the steal, almost got the steal. Let's go to Jim Gray. Jim?
Greg, during that last time out, Nolan Richardson told his guys, okay, guys, we're about even right now. Let's try and win these next 7 minutes. That'll put us in position where we think we can control the second half because we'll have worn them down. Greg?
Thank you, Jim. Arlen Bowers, three-pointer on the way. He got it.
That's exactly what Nolan Richardson has talked about all along. He hasn't changed his game plan. Greg, they barely look at tape. He says, all I want is my club to do what we do best, keep the pressure on you. As I said, he thinks his bench is deeper, and he can get you there.
That's pretty unusual in this day and age, too, isn't it?
Well, I think it varies from team to team. Some people like to look at it, some don't. Obviously, he doesn't, nor does Roy Williams do it.
Alonzo Jamison had looked in tape. He might not have taken it to Oliver Miller the way he just did. 27-26, Razorbacks.
I said this before. I think Alonzo Jamison is a great player and doesn't get enough credit for what he does for that team.
Kansas comes away with it. And looking for the lead. Brown. For three. First three-pointer of the day for the Jayhawks. And they lead it, 29-27. Fury with a whistle and a foul on Richard Scott.
Well, if anytime you can break the press, the thing you need to do is attack the basket. If you're somebody like Terry Brown who likes the three, it's a chance to get off the slide. Now, Terry feels that he has his rhythm. Watch for him to take more three-pointers. They encourage him to do just that.
see that was the first three-pointer of the day for the Jayhawks. They rained three-pointers down on Indiana 2 nights ago.
Well, normally they like to get Terry Brown early on the three-pointers because they know what it does in terms of open up the inside game.
Miller around and out, followed by Isaiah Morris.
Repetitive. Second chance points. Got to block out.
Morris has 9, and we're tied at 29. Steal by Day. Day, foul, got the basket.
Oh, big fella. Todd Day is 6'8" dribbling this ball, and Terry Brown makes a gamble, tries to cut in front of him, and you can see Todd Day still able, with great body control, to get it in the hole. A little excitement to go along with it.
He had a few like that against Alabama Thursday night. And Day has 14 today, and Arkansas back on top by 3.
It has been a defensive switch. What they've decided to do is take Randall, take him outside, and Morris was guarding him. And that time, Scott got caught with Miller got anxious and traveled.
Minutes for the half. Arkansas with the ball and the lead.
Rick, I think Kansas let their momentum get away. They had started out with making the run with the three-point shot, and you can see how the momentum has shifted back. And now Arkansas has it back at their pace, and now Kansas has to guard against trying to get the points back on one trip down the court.
Pretty good move and shot by Lee Mayberry. 4.5 for the first half. Back door. Jordan missed the shot. Here come the Razorbacks. 3-on-1. Day. $16 for Todd Day. Steal by Day. Day for Bauer. By the left hand, out of bounds to Kansas. And we'll take a breather with 3:51 to play, first half.
I see you've selected the ultimate adventure. Vehicle preference?
Toyota 4x4, the black one.
Excellent choice.
Another one. A 1991 Toyota 4x4. The ultimate adventure.
I'm Dave Johnson. For my training for the 1992 decathlon, I switched to the pump from Reebok. When I'm pumped up, my feet have support, protection, and a custom fit for leaping, vaulting, spinning, jumping, sprinting, hurling, racing, running, throwing, and shot putting. Now I'm the guy who knows cross-training. Pump up and air out.
Finishing it off there is Todd Day. You got to get back and protect with defensive transition.
And Arkansas now goes to the full court pressure.
Greg, they feel that all of a sudden they've got Kansas thinking that they're tired. They've pressed a little bit here and they've been worn down. They want them to press the ball up court.
Randall was tied up by Miller, lost the handle on the way up, and Maddox is guilty of the foul. Some interesting numbers right here. Arkansas is on a 9-point run. Kansas has turned the ball over 8 times today, and they turned it over 9 times in their win over Indiana. Seton Hall and UNLV still to come
well,
from Seattle.
Greg, I'm not sure there's anybody playing much better than Seton Hall in the tournament. I mean, they've turned it on since the Big East tournament, and they've just carried it right through here through the NCAA.
Congratulations to Todd Day, who has just set a new Arkansas single-season scoring record. Joe Klein held the previous record of 736 points back in 1985.
Joe Klein now with the Boston Celtics. I'm sure he'd like having that.
That shot off the mark. Here comes Arkansas again. Fury for Day. And now back to Fury. Mayberry had it partially blocked. Fury picked it up. Miller. Out of bounds to Kansas. Oliver Miller, by the way, comes into this game shooting 71% from the field for the season.
I'll take Mark Randall's comment and put it to Oliver Miller. You shooting layups. You should. But you got to have people get you the ball in position to score, too.
Kansas still with plenty of time on the shot clock, 30 seconds.
See how far they're getting the ball out.
And that's a turnover. Number 9 of the day.
All of a sudden, you're starting to get the ball further out. When you get tired, one of the first things to go is not necessarily your legs, Greg. It's just the ability to start thinking yourself, thinking through decisions, and executing those decisions.
Quinn, there was no doubt Alabama got tired Thursday night against Arkansas.
They did, and they just started throwing the ball away. And not only were they throwing it away, it wasn't getting deflected out of bounds. It was getting deflected so that could be converted to baskets, and that's when you're really going to get yourself in trouble.
In fact, some of the players were even saying so during the game.
Gary Waits, as a matter of fact, told Todd Day, he said, you guys got to quit running like this. I'm tired.
In the middle of the game. Day to a wide open Mayberry, who missed it. Murray, another three. Arkansas getting multiple tries at the basket every time down court.
You got trouble here because Scott's trying to bring the ball down. You got it out of your guard's hands.
Jordan. That's a backcourt violation, 10-second violation.
Well, that's what I was talking about. Roy Williams, the Jayhawks, had Richard Scott trying to bring it down. Brown was on the other end. Jordan's got to get there. This is the pressure that you'll see when you're facing the Razorbacks. They're all over, just coming up behind him, and there was no way for Adonis Jordan to get it across court.
The Razorbacks have scored 12 straight points. And the whistle. Adonis Jordan. Number 2 on Jordan. Here's Lee Mayberry at the line.
Greg, this young man has gotten what I consider one of the highest compliments you can get. I played with Sidney Moncrief, who was a former Arkansas Razorback, and they said this young man has the same kind of fiber and character that Sidney Moncrief has. And I played with one other player that had that, and that was Larry Bird. So I'm telling you, that is some very high praise for Lee Mayberry.
Jordan spins in the lane. Nice move by Adonis Jordan. And that breaks the Arkansas run. And that's Jordan's first basket. We're down to a minute 40 to play for the half. Arkansas has jumped off to an 11-point lead. Fury. Oh, and he missed the shot.
Too easy.
And yet another offensive rebound and a three-pointer for Todd Day. 21 for Day.
That we can look for here with Kansas. I talked to Roy Williams. His concern was his players start passing the ball defensively. Instead of passing it on your toes where you can get something into it, you're moving it away from the defense and not able to get popped. That's when Arkansas can still pass it.
Terry Brown. Two-pointer for Terry Brown. Under a minute to play now. 45-33 Arkansas.
You got to figure right here, you got the freshman Richie trying to guard Day. That's who I'd get the ball to. Day is the hottest man on the court. Lee Mayberry knows where to find his score. That's who I'd look to see get the last shot.
No shot clock. Murray with a free trip to the basket.
And that's what makes this team good, because they can go to other people, obviously.
Jerry Brown floats it in along the baseline. No. The follow, still no good. And Richard Scott gets it home.
Get back. He can get it up.
Eddie Murray throws it up at the buzzer and almost went. And that's the end of the first half with the score Arkansas 47 and Kansas 35. We'll return with Pat O'Brien and Mike Francesa after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship Regional Final Game is sponsored by Toyota dealers and their quality line.
21 points. Arkansas leads Kansas 47 to 35. And I think a lot of people in America sit around and watch basketball games in coat and ties. Anyway, hi, everybody. Pat O'Brien here in our New York Hoops headquarters, along with Mike Francesa and Curry Kirkpatrick, has joined us from Sports Illustrated. That 15-0 run killed him, huh?
Well, Arkansas opened with a 17-6 run. Kansas battled back, was patient, got in their offense, took the lead for a brief moment. Then Arkansas hit him with a 26 run to end the first half. Kansas can get back in this game, but they have to be patient. They can't run up and down the floor with Arkansas and get some good shots. They're not out of it, but they have to be disciplined in the second half.
Well, I'm surprised Roy Williams let it get away from him. He's such a stickler for time. 4 times this season, Roy Williams suspended his own players for being 30 seconds late. Even the athletic record, Bob Frederick, missed the bus one time, didn't get him. They're about 30 seconds behind on each play in this game.
Offensive rebounds a story, too. A reminder that coming up next, we'll find out who will bear the flag for the West in Indianapolis. Synchronize your watches for a 7:03 tip time out in Seattle, where earlier today, our Leslie Visser caught up with Runnin' Rebel coach Jerry Tarkanian.
It's early.